This is the second of 3 videos on migrating content into the new website system. This video is going to cover copying and pasting text into WordPress and some basic formatting. So the first thing we're going to do is transfer the title of the page that we've chosen. And I've changed things up on you a little bit. Rather than transferring Don Medley's staff bio page, we're going to be transferring the accepted students page for admission. The reason for that is that this has much more opportunities to show you different types of formatting problems that you'll encounter. So the first thing we're doing is copying the title or heading 1 of the page. In most cases, this is right at the top. It's the largest text area. Highlight it with your cursor, and you want to copy it. You can use Control-C, Command-C, or you can right-click and select Copy. And come over to your other tab. Make sure that you've got your cursor there, and paste. You can paste with Control-V, Command-V on a Mac, or you can right-click and paste like that. Now, this is the first thing we've added to this brand new page. Once you've added something to a new page, it's a good idea to immediately change its status from idea to draft and hit OK. We'll talk more about the status later on. Once you've changed the status and added something, go ahead and save your draft. That kind of changes some options about the page, and it opens up some opportunities. You'll notice right away you'll get a message just telling you you've saved it. A permalink appears. A permalink is an absolutely vital part of this process in this system, and we're going to return to it in the next video. The other thing that this is going to allow us to do is create editorial comments. If you have not saved your page as a draft, you can't create editorial comments. Okay, now that we've added a title, we've changed the status, and we've saved our draft, it's time to move on to the main text of the page. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is what not to do. You would think if we're copying and pasting content that you would just pretty much copy it, move it over and paste it. And in fact, this looks pretty good here on the editor. We've got our image, we've got headers immediately that look right. Our links have copied over as well. There's a problem here. If I click the text tab to show me the HTML, we can see where the problem is. This image, this is its HTML tag. It has a source attribute, which has an address pointing the server to where this image is located, where the file is located. And the address is the current Warren Wilson website. Once this new WordPress website is made public, the current website probably is going to change address because the WordPress site will take over the college's primary domain name. When the old website has an address change, this image will be broken. The other things that will be broken are any links that point to the current website. So though this seems like a really simple way to move content from the current site to the new site, by the time the new site is made public, we'll have a situation where this image is broken, where much of the links don't work. The other problem is just that, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but these headings are this dark green color that exists here on this old site. On the new site, the color scheme may be different, and we don't want to copy the dark green of the old. To get rid of all of this, by the way, I'm just going to move over here, select all, and hit delete. Wipes it clean. So now, the proper way to do things, you want to select all of the content of the page, being careful not to select the sidebar, or the header, or the footer. We also don't want to copy this interact box if you see that on one of your pages. You may find that trying to pull down from the top of the page inadvertently copies pieces of the navigation bar, like this. If that's a problem for you, try copying from the bottom of the page, or try copying in pieces. Just pull your cursor up, make sure that you're highlighting only the central column here, and copy. Then get your simple text editor out, in this case, Notepad, and paste. What this has done is to strip out all the images and all the formatting on the text. It's going to give us a clean slate while preserving all the text of the page. Next thing we want to do is to highlight everything in here. I'm going to use the Command key Control-A to select all, and then Control-C to copy. And we paste it into WordPress, right into the main visual editor area. And there we've got clean text. The next step we want to do is to proofread the text to make sure that we don't have any strange line break issues and to make sure that we don't have any unwanted material in it. You may have noticed right away that this image, while it didn't copy, did have what's called an alt tag get copied over. Alt tags are just text descriptions of images used by screen reader software to help people with visual impairments understand what the image is of. While that's a good thing later on to add in when we put the image back, we really don't want it in our text right now. So if you see anything like that, please delete it. And look carefully as well. Those will be hard to spot. So if you know you have anywhere with an image, go ahead and get rid of it. The next thing we're doing is looking carefully for the formatting on the page that we want to recreate in WordPress. By recreating it in WordPress, we are setting it up to where the new system will use whatever the new style is. So say the header color is dark blue instead of dark green, or puce, or whatever it's going to end up being. The new system will be able to understand the proper color if we use WordPress to set up the formatting. The same really goes for the bold, italics, anything like that. So, first off, I'm going to look at where the headers fall on this page. I have 3 headers on this page, and I'm going to go over and set them up here in WordPress. I'm choosing heading 2 because heading 1, of course, is reserved for the title of the page. Don't want to use heading 1 for anything in this main visual editor window. You see immediately that we have a problem. Even though I've only highlighted that what I want to be a heading, it's changed the following paragraph text as well. And what's happened here is that there is not a paragraph tag separating the paragraph text from the heading 2. So I need to add that in, which gives us an opportunity both to show you the undo button and to talk about how to create paragraph breaks versus line breaks. Let's eliminate all the breaks there. Run all the text together. Now, if you just hit the enter or return key, what you're going to get is a paragraph break. That is exactly what we want to use to create a situation where there's a definition, like a definite break between the paragraph text and the heading. That tells the system that these are separate items in the text. If you didn't want to have a paragraph break, for example, if I just wanted, for some reason, for this line to jump down below that one with just a line break, if you just hit return, you get this extra white space. Let's say you didn't want that. Hold shift and hit return, and you create a line break. But if I wanted to just make a heading or something, that of course is going to grab everything there. In time, what you're going to learn to do is spot places where this is going to be a problem. So if I go down and see the next item that needs to be a heading, I can see right away that it only has a line break between what I want to make a heading and the paragraph text. That means that when I try and make it a heading, it's going to grab the paragraph below. So I need to first delete the line break and then hit return to add a paragraph. Then I can highlight what I want to be a heading and set it up. Incidentally, if I wanted to make a heading that wasn't a heading 2, let's say that deposit here was also a heading, a subheading, that's an occasion in which I would choose heading 3 or 4, for example. Heading 5 and 6 are not going to be defined in the new system, just because we really don't have enough differentiation between the size of a heading 1 that we could take it all the way down to a heading 6 level. So just use, in this main area, headings 2, 3, and 4. All right, there's one more heading here. Same deal. I'm going to delete the line break, add a paragraph break, highlight, and make it a heading. The next thing that I noticed about this page is that it's got lots of bold items. Here you can see all of these little places are bold. And I'm not actually going to do all of these just because that would waste your time. You really only need to see it once or twice. So, very simple, highlight, bold, just like in any word processor you've used. Highlight and bold it. And I'm going to come back and finish that off. But the next thing is, I noticed that this page has a numbered list. And in general, if you have a numbered list or a bulleted list, it's great to go ahead and use WordPress's built-in formatting options to make this look a little nicer. So I'm going to highlight it, hit the numbered list button, and then remove the places where it has redundant numbers. Also notice and keep in mind that how text appears in this editor screen is not necessarily how it's going to appear on the website. When I made this a numbered list in WordPress, though it gave me this nice margin right here, it took away the line, kind of the additional line break between the text that made it a little more readable. That's one of those things that we'll add back in the formatting of the website so that we preserve the better readability that it had before. But it's not going to show up here in the back end of the editor. Just like some other options and things down the road won't necessarily appear in the editor that will appear on the site. And I'm going to go ahead and save the draft, something you should do periodically as you work. And I'm going to end this second video. In the next video, we're going to look at transferring the links, which is kind of a complex process.